Okay, so this is call one for our summer Step Up Your Business. And Wendy, what we're going to do is just going to jump right in. So you had completed the Ready, Set, Go, which is fantastic. I'm just going to take a second and just find out a little bit more about where you're coming from and talk about some of the goals and the reasons you started with, and then we're going to get right into the training. Sound good?
Okay.
Okay. So first of all, what's one thing that you are most passionate about with your Pamper Chef business? What do you love the most about doing what we do?
One thing to describe it, I don't know. I guess.
What part of your business do you love the most, I guess, would be another way to ask it.
Well, that I could do it anytime I want.
Okay.
I guess that's kind of cool. And I really enjoy doing shows and meeting new people.
Okay.
And showing them the products.
Good. I'm taking notes too, so bear with me.
Okay.
Right.
Yep.
Excellent. Okay. So for me, when I started the business, I was most passionate, same thing, having the flexibility to make some money. My youngest was an infant, so I needed to be able to work on my own schedule around him and around our family and that kind of thing. And that's definitely still part of it right at this point. Still being able to be the mom who does things at school and that kind of thing, and being able to pay the mortgage, make the car payment, that as well. But you know, it's so much. It's changed, which is really very cool. I think the thing that I love the most is being able to work with you guys, being able to work with the team, with all kinds of different people who have different goals and different styles of working and getting there. That's probably what I love the most about right now. And of course, I love my hosts and giving them big shopping sprees and everything else. But I love working with you guys the most. So it's kind of cool how things change. So you know what you are excited about the most right now. It may stay the same. You may wind up with other things that come in as you go and be like, wow, this is even better. So,
Cool.
Yeah. So let's talk a little bit about your Ready, Set, Play. So what goal is most important to you, and why is that goal so important?
I think my biggest one is to get out of debt and sort of live debt free. So I'm just trying to bring in some extra revenue to get rid of some debt right now. So, and then I think once I've figured all that out, I think then I'll have maybe some different goals. But right now, it's really, I've been concentrating mostly on that.
Okay.
Little by little.
Yep. Why is that goal important to you?
It's a pending dark cloud over me. I don't know. I feel like maybe once I can get rid of that, I'll just feel so much better.
Okay.
So it's for my personal well-being, for my family, and then I feel like then I can move on and be able to enjoy stuff with them. I mean, and I try to do a little bit of that right now, but I just feel like there's still this cloud over me. So I'm going to get rid of the dark cloud.
Yeah.
Get a nice, bright, fluffy cloud.
Or no clouds. All right. Excellent. Rhonda, I see that you've joined us now too. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. I can only see your ball cap, so if you can move your camera at all, I'll be able to see your face. There you are. Hi, beautiful. So we can go back and do the same things. I'm not sure at what point you joined in because I didn't hear you beep in. What are you most passionate about with your business right now?
Finally finding some new customers.
Okay, good. So that's what's getting you most excited right now. Excellent. So tell me about, are you there, Rhonda?
Yes.
Okay. So you're most excited about finding new customers, so that's pretty cool. When you were doing the Ready, Set, Play, what is your biggest goal right now? What are you really shooting for with your business?
More new ones, trying to book.
Okay, I'm having a hard time hearing you. I heard you were trying to book, and then I couldn't hear what else you said.
Get more shows and meet new people.
More shows. Okay, how many shows? Like, what would you like to be doing? What's a goal that you want to have, say, for the summer, for July and August? What's a goal that you really want to accomplish with the shows? Like, is there a certain number of shows, certain amount of income? Get a little bit more specific.
2 shows per week.
Okay. Why do you want 2 shows per week?
I didn't hear that.
Rhonda, it's telling me that your bandwidth is low, so that might be making it more difficult. Can you hear and see me okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
We're having a little bit more difficulty. I can see you, but I'm having more difficulty hearing you. So why is it that you want to have 2 shows a week? Why is that goal important to you?
Come and just getting my name out there. Show, yeah, I had at a festival in Limerick this past weekend,
Yep.
and I didn't have any sales, but I was able to pass out, I finally got business cards made, so I was able to pass out a lot of business cards and some catalog, and I just told them I wanted to get my name out so people know that there's somebody in the area that does for Jeff.
Good. So tell me what the income would be for. What would that mean to you? Why is having that income important?
To pay off bills, my bills on my shoulder, my son's in college. I would love to be able to help pay off a lot of those things that have just come up in the last 6 months.
Okay. So you're both focusing on paying off some debt, paying off some bills. So if you haven't yet, the best thing to do with any goal is you need to make a SMART goal, which means I'll email you some of the details, but basically we need to make sure that they're measurable. We need to make sure they're realistic, and we need to put a time on them. So if you haven't yet done that, that's a really important step for setting any goal. So if you're saying you want to pay off debt, Wendy, okay, well, how much debt and by when? And what does that mean each month? How much income do you need every month coming in to pay off that debt? Rhonda, if you're looking at, for example, college tuition, how much is it every month? Do you want to pay the entire thing with your Pampered Chef income every month, or a part of it? And what part of it? Okay, so have either one of you guys broken it down to that level yet?
No.
Okay, so that's the next step for your goals, because we need to have a goal, but then we also need to make sure we have enough details to really make it a true goal. So for example, if somebody says, I'm going to lose weight this summer, or somebody says, I'm going to lose 15 pounds by August 31st. I'm going to the gym every other morning at 6 o'clock. I have personal training set up, and I have somebody who's holding me accountable for what I'm eating. Do you see the difference in those 2 goals? Okay.
Yeah, she's got a plan to achieve it.
So lots of details to your goals is going to be your first key for making your goals happen. Okay, so keep the goals that you already have, but break them down. What exactly do I mean when I say I want to pay off bills? How many, how much, by when? Okay?
Okay.
And then once you have that figured out, go into Consulting Connection, and you can go into the box that says goals and fill them in. Let me know exactly what you guys are working towards so I can help support you with that. Okay, so if it's $500 a month or $100 a month or whatever, put it in there so we both know exactly what you're working for so we can make sure that we get you guys there. Okay?
Okay.
All right. Second question. What's the main reason you guys joined the Step Up program? Why did you decide to do this?
I don't know. I thought it would be fun to learn something new. I don't know. I'm always just up for learning something, and I just want to do the best that I can for this business.
Good. Excellent. Rhonda, was that me too? I couldn't quite hear you. Okay, Rhonda, your video has frozen for us right now. If you look on the bottom bar, there's a little box that says chat. So you can click on chat and then you can just type as well. Okay, Wendy, are you still there?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, we just lost Rhonda. Okay, so we're going to continue right on. So we're going to, over the next couple of weeks, we're going to practice some skills. We're going to learn some things. that's really focusing on making the 3-2-1 success plan work for you. Okay, so following the 3-2-1 plan is key. It's very simple. So let's do a quick review. Do you know what the 3-2-1 plan is?
3 contacts a day.
Yep.
What is it? 2. I don't remember the others. 2 calls.
2 shows a week.
Oh, that's it. 2 shows a week.
Yep. And do you remember what the 1 is?
Number 1, me. No, I don't know. I can't remember.
1 recruit a month. So basically 3 contacts a day. If you focus your time on making connections that generate new business, you're going to wind up maximizing everything that's going on. So customer care calls are a really great place to start. So what we want to do, though, is maximize each contact. So when we call them, we want to ask them to book a show, find out more about doing what we do, and ask them for a referral. Okay, that's really going to maximize it. We want to make sure that their products are good and offer them any help that we can with that. Then we need to ask them for the other business, too. Okay?
Okay.
So whether we're doing that on the phone, if we're in person, whatever, but every time we make a new contact, that's fuel for our business. Okay, and that's what Rhonda was just talking about. She's excited to get new contacts because that's more fuel. So that means more sales, more bookings, and more people who are going to want to join your team. Okay?
Okay.
And then 2 shows a week, if you stop and think about it, if you're making 3 new contacts a day, doesn't it seem like you'd be able to have 2 shows a week going on?
It would seem, yeah.
So, and especially, if you're working on a goal of, paying off debt, building your team, getting to team leader, or getting to director, 2 shows a week is really going to be a benchmark to help you guys achieve all of that. Okay, so whether you're focusing on director or focusing on paying off debt or whatever it is, 2 shows a week is going to give you that routine. It's going to give you that income. It's going to give you those new contacts, that new business at every party. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
And then that also puts you, in line for earning incentive trips and all the other free stuff that comes too. So, and then 1 recruit a month. So if we're doing 8 shows a week, okay, on average, we should expect to be in front of at least 80 people. So from that size audience, we should be able to get at least 8 recruit leads, okay? So a lead is just somebody who wants to take a look at the business opportunity. Just somebody who's going to take home some information, somebody who wants to chat a little bit, get some questions answered, and it doesn't mean they're necessarily going to start right now, okay? Rhonda, are you back in?
Okay.
I'm back on by phone this time. Something's happening with my video.
Yep, that's fine. Glad you're back. So we're just reviewing the 3-2-1 plan.
Okay.
So as far as the leads go, some will join right now, some will join later, and that's fine because we want to have a big lead list so that there's always going to be somebody for whom now is the right time. Okay? So in recruiting, it's key because you know what? There are so many people who could use the same things, the same bills they have to pay off, the same college tuitions, all the other things. Other people need the same things that we're getting out of this. So the first person we share it with, we're going to immediately start getting bonuses and rewards for that. Okay?
Okay.
And I can tell you guys, I'll be honest with you, I am not always great about making my contacts every single day. And it shows. I have a book and it's right here and this keeps track of all the calls and I track it on the computer as well. But when I look and if I go and I find a lapse where I haven't been making my contacts, guess what? My business is down. It's that simple. Okay? This business is mathematical, not magical. If we do enough, if we talk to enough people, we're going to get the results we're looking for. Okay? So.
Okay.
All right, and obviously there's things that we can do that's going to, tweak and we can improve on how we contact people. But really, if we contact enough people, we're going to wind up getting what we're looking for and help them along the way as well. So, okay, so let's talk about 3 obstacles that can derail your plan for success. So we talked about having the goal and making it much more specific. Tell me if this sounds accurate, because there's usually a couple of things that can get in our way or that we let get in our way. 1 is we can't find the time to make contacts. We think we're too busy and then we just can't find the time to do it. Or 2, we don't know who to contact. We're not sure who our leads are. We're not sure who we should be contacting. Or 3, we just don't even know what to say to them. Any of these sound accurate?
Oh, I think it would be my third one.
Okay.
I can squeeze in the time.
Mm-hmm.
I have an idea right now of who, but I think it would be number 3 for me the most.
Okay. What about you, Rhonda? Which of those 3 do you think is the biggest obstacle for you?
Time.
Time? Okay. So one thing I can tell you guys is we're gonna look at each of the different obstacles, but one thing I can tell you is when we find something that we believe in that's important enough for us, we're gonna find ways to get it done. So often when we're telling ourselves things like, oh, I don't have the time or whatever, it might be that we're just afraid. We don't really know what the results are going to be. And so sometimes we make up other reasons for it. So just be aware of that. Keep that in the back of your head that maybe you just kind of need to think, okay, I don't think I have the time for it, but I have time to go to the grocery store because if I don't go to the grocery store, I'm going to starve. So obviously that's really important. Okay. But think about this the same way. You know what I mean? Like, well, if I don't make these contacts, my business is going to starve. So just a little food for thought, but we will be able to make things happen when they're important enough to us. So let's talk about making those connections, knowing what to say. Okay. All right. So let's talk about making these connections. If you could grab a piece of paper, just a blank piece of paper, and we're going to go through things. Okay. So making contacts every day is a habit that will create success. There's no question about it. So over the next few weeks, we're going to find out who to talk to, what to say to them. We'll work on when we can make those calls. But it all starts with having the courage to actually make the calls. So I'm going to read a couple of statements, and this is going to be a very simple, response kind of thing. After each one, write down the first thought that comes to mind. Okay?
Okay.
All right. Making business calls is blank. What's the first thing that comes to mind? Write it down.
Okay.
Okay, Rhonda, you got yours?
Yep.
Okay. What 2 words describe the emotions you feel when it's time to make business calls? 2 emotions. You got them?
Yep.
I don't know how to describe this emotion. So
Okay. Do it the best you can. You can use more than 2 words if you need to.
Okay.
Okay. Making contacts while out and about is blank.
Okay.
Okay. Rhonda, you have yours?
Yes.
Okay. Last one. What 2 words describe the emotions you feel when you realize you have the chance to connect with somebody while you're out and about? How do you feel when you know you could be talking to somebody right now?
Okay.
All right. Rhonda, you willing to share yours?
Sure.
Okay, so start from the top. Making business calls is?
Difficult at times.
Okay.
I know that's more than 1 word, but
That's okay, you're allowed. Yep. Okay. What about you, Wendy? Making business calls is?
Scary.
Okay, yep, absolutely. What 2 words describe the emotions you feel when it's time to make business calls?
nervous and anxious.
Okay.
Okay, I put anxious and then I put worried about failure.
Yeah. Okay.
So I didn't know how to express that emotion.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. This is good stuff, guys. Making contacts while out and about is?
Easier.
I said easy.
Okay, Wendy said easy. Rhonda, what did you say?
I said easier.
Easier. Good. Love it. Okay. And what 2 words describe the emotions when you have the opportunity when you're out and about?
I said excited and happy.
Good. Okay. Wendy?
I put excited and hopeful.
Good. This is great stuff, guys. Okay. So what do you think your thoughts and actions, or what do you think your thoughts and emotions, how do you think they impact your willingness to make contacts?
Well, they can inhibit you.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Where do you think? Go ahead. I'm sorry.
You know, if you're anxious, you tend to put off things.
Yep.
I don't know. Maybe that's.
Of course we do. We're afraid of failure. Nobody likes to feel like they're getting rejected. Nobody likes to feel like they're getting shot down. Right?
Right.
Okay. Completely normal.
Or sometimes it's not even that. Mm-hmm. It's just you get no reaction from them.
Okay.
Like that sometimes to me bothers me more than even like, oh, and then, you know, like, do you know what I mean? Like, they'd be like, oh, I do all this great stuff. And they're like, oh, that's great. And then that's it. Like, I don't know how to continue the conversation from there because it's like, well, why aren't you more excited about that, you know?
Yep. Okay. Yep. I get it. I completely get it. So, okay. So, go ahead. Were you going to say something else, Wendy?
No, I think that's it. That's about it.
I thought I was kind
of... You know, and it's really funny because right now I have a house guest, which is my mom.
Yep.
And she's not a very positive person to start off with.
Okay.
So she keeps throwing out all these, like, not negativity, but reasons. Like, she's got a reason for everything. Oh, well, it's summertime, so it's really hard. People are doing this and this. Mm-hmm. Or, oh, well, people are saving their money for vacation. Or, you know, so for everything that I say, she's got to come back to.
Yep. And you know what?
I have that too.
I'm like, okay, so I finally just told her, I said, you know what? Can you just not talk to me anymore because you're, I'm like, can we stay positive here?
Right. Good for you. Good for you. Because, you know,
then maybe she's helping. But then I try to think, I'm like, okay, well, maybe she's actually helping me. I'm trying to put a reverse switch to it because I really just want to tell her, like, really? Like.
But you know what? That's really good. I mean, first of all, we're all going to have some people in our lives who are more negative. And the less that we can be around negativity, of course, the better. But Wendy, I really like that you're thinking, okay, how can I challenge that? How can I use this as a challenge to myself? So for all of those,
I'm trying.
Well, but that's good. So for all of those things that she's saying, then it's going to also be, okay, well, how do I respond to that? So it's summer, everyone's busy. Yeah, so that's why our parties are only an hour in the summer. We're outside on the deck, drinking wine and enjoying the summer nights, whatever. Okay?
Right.
All right, so let's talk a little bit more about 3 simple steps that we can take as far as making these connections. So number 1, and I love this one, face the fear and do it anyway. Okay? The fact is,
so can you repeat that?
Yeah.
Can you repeat that?
Face the fear and do it anyways. So know you're going to be afraid and be like, yep, I'm afraid, I'm doing it anyways. Okay? Because the fact is, we don't know what's going to happen when we make calls or start a conversation. And the unknown is pretty scary. Not knowing what's going to happen can be very scary. And, you know, it's not really based on logic or reality, but the feeling of fear is very real. Okay? So you don't necessarily need to have a good reason for it, but if you're feeling the feeling, okay, accept it. I'm feeling afraid. I'm going to do it anyways. Okay? So I love this statement.
But people feel fear.
Absolutely, and that's what I'm saying. So we can feel it. And even if it may not be a logical reason to be afraid, we can still feel it. So accept that, okay, you know what? It's time for me to make contacts. I'm a little afraid. Okay, I'm going to do it anyways. So it's not saying that you're not allowed to feel the fear. Absolutely. Face the fear, acknowledge it, and just go about your business. Do it anyway. Okay?
Okay.
So this is a quote from a book called The Aladdin Factor. The author is Jack Canfield and Mark Victor Hansen, and they've done a couple of books together, absolutely love them. So this is the quote. Most fear is self-created. Most of us live under the illusion that things outside of us are causing our fear. But remember, while the experience of the fear may be very real to you, the source of the fear is in your own mind. So we may be honestly feeling that fear, but where's the fear coming from? It's coming from in here, coming from our brains. So the most effective way to combat fear of the unknown is to do what you're afraid of doing. Write that down. Do what you're afraid of doing. And another quote I love, this is from Eleanor Roosevelt. She said, You gain strength, courage, and confidence by every experience which you must stop and look fear in the face. You must do the thing you think you cannot do. So let me ask you guys this. What's one thing in your Pampered Chef business that was at one time scary, but now it isn't anymore? Rhonda, you've been around a little bit longer, so what used to be really scary for you and now it isn't anymore?
Going into people's houses that I didn't know and standing up in front of them and talking about all of this.
Yep. And no big deal now, right?
No big deal.
See? You faced the fear, you did it anyways, and the fear went away. What about you, Wendy? I know you haven't been doing this as long as Rhonda, but what used to be scary for you, but now it isn't so much anymore?
I think really honestly it was taking the plunge.
Okay.
was doing this. Like, this is scary to me because it's an investment. It's an investment in time. It's an all around a huge investment.
Yeah.
And did I want to undertake that?
Right. Right. And now that you're in, is it as scary?
No.
Because you faced
it. Because I kind of went in it with certain goals and I've already accomplished those. So I feel like, okay.
Good.
Great.
And that actually, you know what, that leads us in perfectly to the second one. So the first one is face the fear and do it anyways. The second one is visualize the outcome you desire. So in most cases, we lose that courage. We get scared when we start to think about what's going to happen. We start making up what they're going to say. Okay, so before we pick up the phone, we start telling ourselves, oh God, they're on vacation. It's 4th of July week. They don't want to talk to me. Like, we talk ourselves out of it and we haven't even dialed the phone. And I'm guilty of it too. I'll be completely honest. I had those exact same thoughts earlier this morning. I'm like, oh, it's 4th of July week. Nobody wants to talk to me. And I told myself to shut up and I picked up the phone and did it anyways. So if we're going to tell ourselves a story, why don't we make it a good story? Give ourselves a happy ending. Okay? So when we tell ourselves a story that's going to focus on the outcome we want, we're going to move out of the fear and we're going to get excited about it, and we're going to be like moving into anticipation mode. Okay? So we're going to imagine the yes. So that means the old story would be, oh, I doubt she's going to book a show. Well, instead of telling yourselves that, what could we tell ourselves? What's the positive ending to that story?
They will book a show.
Yeah. They'll be psyched for a summer party. They didn't know we did shows outside. Oh, I can't wait to tell her we can do an ice cream thing with the kids. So now if you're thinking about the positive and the excitement at the end, doesn't it make you want to pick the phone up more?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Old story number 2. If I call one more time, she's going to think I'm pushing. Okay.
Right.
So what's the positive we can tell ourselves about this?
Maybe she just forgot.
Yeah. Do you forget things?
Yep.
I forgot to bring my kids to the doctors, even after I had a reminder call. I forget things all the time. Okay. Maybe they're busy and they just haven't had the time to pick it up, because this will be a bigger priority for us, chances are, than it will be for them. So to think, oh, I know she's waiting for me to call because she's been so busy, she's going to be psyched. She doesn't have to find my number. Whatever. Okay? Let's do one more. Old story number 3. She'll probably think I'm crazy if I just start talking to her while I'm waiting in this line with her.
While I'm waiting for what?
While I'm waiting in this line. You guys are waiting in line somewhere. She's going to think I'm crazy if I start talking to her while we're waiting in line. So what's positive that we tell ourselves?
That I was thinking about her, or that at that moment?
So you're
or if you have a Pampered Chef bag on you, like one of those grocery bags, you can, if they say something about that, you can, that's like an easy beginning of a conversation about the fact that you sell Pampered Chef.
That's absolutely true. What we want to talk about, though, is what's the positive we can tell ourselves. So instead of telling ourselves the negative of, oh, she's going to think I'm crazy.
Oh.
Okay? So that's when you're standing in line, you've got somebody next to you and you want to talk to them, but you're telling yourself, oh my gosh, she's going to think I'm nuts if I start talking to her. we could instead tell ourselves, oh my God, she's going to be thrilled when I tell her what else she can do with the food that's sitting there that she's buying when she has leftovers. Or, oh, she's going to love this recipe when I share it with her because I bet she never knew she could do that with whatever she's buying. So now you would be more.
Or she could buy one of our thermal bags to keep her food cold on the way home.
Okay, so exactly. So now you're going to be like, oh my God, I got this great thing to share with her. Now I can't wait to talk to her. Make sense?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, and we're all guilty of this. Like I said, I did it this morning, guys. So whenever we tell ourselves one of those things, we have to stop and tell ourselves the positive. So for me, I'm thinking, oh God, nobody wants to talk to me. It's 4th of July week. They're going to be thinking instead, oh my God, they're on vacation. They want to talk about fun things now. Okay? All right. Number 3, stop taking the no's personally. All right? And this can be a tough one to learn. If we get overly discouraged when we hear no, then we might have some unrealistic expectations. Okay? I'm guessing everybody here has heard no thank you at some point in their life? Yes?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Does it help you to know that you're going to hear a no, that it's normal?
Yeah.
All right? We have to expect the no's. That's part of the game. And it doesn't mean that they think we're horrible people. It just means no. That's it. So remember that no's happen. And when you remember that it's just part of the game, they're not as devastating. Okay? Not everybody's going to say yes. It's just not going to happen. So allow.
Well, I want them to.
I want them to as well. And when you figure out how, let me know. But until then.
Okay.
But until then, we need to remember that the no's are going to happen and that it's okay. And that's going to take a lot of the stress out of it as well. All right? So, and one thing too, and I'm going to email this out tomorrow as well, is remember the principle of enough. This is very simple. When we make enough contacts every day, we're going to connect with enough people to get the results we want. And enough isn't a specific number. It depends on what your goal is. It depends on how important that goal is to you. So if it is absolutely critical, I'm going to lose my house if I don't have 5 shows booked this month, you're going to call as many people as you need. All right? So if that means you're calling 500 people, you're going to call the 500 people because it's that important to you. So enough is...
I don't even think I know 500 people.
Okay, but you know what I'm getting at. So enough is...
Yeah, I know what you're getting at.
Enough isn't a specific number. Enough is whatever it takes to get what you want. All right?
Okay.
So,
okay.
Julie.
Yes.
What was the second part? You said make enough contacts to do what?
Then when you make enough contacts every day, you're going to connect with enough people to get the business you want.
Okay.
Okay? Because some of them are going to say no, but some of them are going to say yes. So if we only make 3 contacts and 2 of them said no, we got 1 yes. If we made 25 contacts, maybe 7 of them said yes. And now you have 7 shows versus 1, or 7 recruiting interviews versus 1. Okay? All right, so what we're going to do, and we're going to wrap this up pretty quickly here. The key to handling no is to be proactive in your response. We're going to end this with a positive. And this kind of falls into where you were before too, Wendy. Like, what do I say next? Okay. So we always want to make sure we're ending on a positive note. So if somebody says no thank you, what can we say next? Any ideas?
Do you know anybody who would like to have a show?
Perfect. Ask for a referral. Absolutely. What else could we say?
I don't know. I'm stumped. Thanks anyways. Here's a brochure. Here's a catalog.
Absolutely. Say, how about I send you a catalog? You can take a peek. There's a recipe in there. And if you find something you like, give me a call.
Right.
You could always ask, too, is this a no never or just a no not right now? Would it be better if I called you back in a month or 2? Because sometimes it's just a not right now. Okay?
I got a lot of those at the fair that I was at on Saturday.
Yep.
But I learned to just keep passing out my business cards and saying that exact thing. I said, well, if it's not something that you're interested in, if you could just please take my business card or one of my catalogs and pass it on to somebody that you know likes Pampered Chef or would like to order or have a cooking show, then I would be very grateful.
That's perfect. That's perfect. Okay.
But that's taken a long time to get my courage up to the point where I was able to say all that to a person.
Yeah. Because we do take things personally. When they say no, we think, oh my God, they hate us. It's not. We just need to talk to them. They're only people. Okay.
Right.
All right. So consider all the fears that we might be thinking about and experiencing when making contacts, whether it's the fear of the unknown, whether we're afraid of failure, or that maybe they don't want to talk to us, the fear of looking bad, or whatever. Remember this quote from Mark Twain. Courage is resistance to fear, mastery of fear, not absence of fear. We're still going to feel the fear. We're just going to do it anyways. Okay?
Yep.
Okay. So what we're going to do really quickly is just do a quick overview of your play sheet. We have 2 weeks before we have our next group call. So you have 2 weeks to complete the play sheet. So there are 8 different boxes on the play sheet in addition to making your 3 contacts every day. And each box is pretty self-explanatory, but they're all really important, and they touch on a bunch of different things. So there's an audio recording you can listen to. There are 2 online courses. There's practicing an out of the blue script, and that's just sitting down with a friend. It doesn't have to be a lead, just a living, breathing person where you're going to read something and just get some practice done at getting the words out of your mouth. Bringing the catalog tote or logo wear or something out with you, okay? So these play sheets over the course of the next 2 weeks are going to do a lot to start bumping up your business, making new contacts, and building new things, okay?
Okay. Okay.
So
we're not doing, the next meeting for us is in 2 weeks.
Correct. And so what's going to happen is every 2 weeks we have this conference call. Okay. On the off, we're each going to have one-on-one calls. So Wendy, next week I'm going to have a one-on-one call with you. Rhonda, next week I'm going to have a one-on-one call with you. And that will also be in the follow-up email. We'll find a date and time so we can do one-on-one check-ins.
Okay.
All right?
Okay. So, and in the meantime, then we work on the worksheets, right?
Exactly. And the second page.
Okay. I wasn't understanding.
Okay, good. The second page of the worksheet, the back of it is listening to a customer care call. And again, we will figure out a time where you guys can just listen into what I'm doing. Okay?
Okay.
All right. So we've got the worksheet that we're working on. And I'm going to read just a couple of really quick things, and then we're going to wrap it up. Okay, the first one is a challenge for you guys.
Okay.
All right? So the first one to call me and say that you've taken the online course, Prospecting, Finding Business Everywhere, and then made 3 contacts, you're going to receive a very special little gift from me. So take the online course, Prospecting, Finding Business Everywhere, and make 3 contacts. First one to get back to me, you're going to get a prize. Okay?
Okay.
And I want you guys to listen to this and write down some of these numbers because this is pretty impressive. Okay, this comes from the book Carpe Phonum, How to Seize the Phone, Take Action, and Call Your Prospects Even When You Lack Courage. And this is by Tammy Stanley. She's also another phenomenal author. Okay, here we go. Have you ever noticed how quickly you can lose the confidence to make a call or contact a prospect because you don't feel like you can do it? The reasons why you don't feel you can do something as simple as picking up a phone are varied. You might feel it's because you lack experience, confidence, or previous success. But it is the very things we think we need before we take action, like courage, confidence, and comfort, that only come to us after we've taken the action. The only way to truly feel successful is to take action. So what's one thing that you will make sure you take action and complete on the play sheet? What's one thing that's absolutely positively going to happen for each of you? What are you going to do to make sure you're working on that play sheet?
Take the online course.
Take action.
Yeah.
Take action. Do it.
Yeah, just do it. Post it on your fridge. Put a note on your mirror in the bathroom. Ask somebody to follow up with you, and you guys can work with each other. So make sure that you're taking the action. Okay, and here's the last piece, and then we're going to wrap up. This is from the Success Principles, also by Jack Canfield. Okay. Herbert True, a marketing specialist at Notre Dame University, found that, write this down if you can, 44% of all salespeople quit trying after the first call. 24%.
I think I read something about this.
Yep, 24% quit after the second call. 14% quit after the third call. And 12% quit after the fourth call. So that means 94% of all salespeople quit after the fourth call. But 60% of sales are made after that fourth call. This revealing statistic shows that 94% of all salespeople don't give themselves a chance at 60% of the prospective buyers. Okay? So this is building that relationship. This is following up with people. This is shooting them an email, sending them something in the mail. This is continuing to work with our customers, and that is what's going to build your business more than anything else you do. Okay?
What was the fourth percentage one? I didn't get that one.
Okay,
94%.
44%, 24%, 14%, and then 12%.
12, okay.
Yep. All right, ladies, I want to thank you guys so much for taking the time today. We went over a bunch of different things, and I'm going to send a follow-up email tomorrow. Our next group call will be in 2 weeks, but like I said, on the email tomorrow, we're also going to work on setting up our individual calls for next week. Okay?
Okay, perfect.
Any questions on what we did today?
Nope.
All right. Thank you guys again so much for your time. Have a wonderful, happy, and safe 4th, and I will talk to you guys soon, okay?
Thank you.
You too.
Bye.
Guys, bye-bye.
Bye, Rhonda.
Bye. Bye.